Hello, I'm Joyce Woodworth. Welcome to the Spirit of the Heartland. The Master Gardeners of Winona not only plant beautiful gardens, but they also teach and help others plant gardens. Plus, they help beautify the city of Winona by tending gardens throughout our town. Tonight, we're going to meet with several Master Gardeners and find out exactly how they do that.
Oh, these would be the prettiest flowers, Mom.
Are they?
Yeah, little.
Every Monday evening throughout the summer, over 30 children gather behind Redeemer Lutheran Church for a gardening experience with the Master Gardeners. They choose vegetables and flowers from an array of plants and design their very own garden plot. Sue Ann Mullen, Master Gardener, explains to us more about this interesting, fun evening.
This project is a cooperative project between the Women's Resource Center and the Winona County Master Gardeners. And, part of our Master Gardener mission, or I should say our entire mission, is to educate ourselves and others with the horticultural resources from the University of Minnesota. So in that regard, this is one of our major educational projects. So the kids learn everything from tilling the ground and fertilizing to planting, which is tonight, so everyone is very excited. And we stamp t-shirts tonight. We have all kinds of activities for them in between planting. And then all summer, every Monday night, they take care of their garden, they weed, they water, they do everything that is necessary to get a nice garden. Many of the vegetables will provide fruit, and so we make this wonderful garden salad about halfway through the summer that everybody enjoys, so we get to eat some of our fruits of our labor. It's our ongoing project. It's been going, I believe it's 12 years. It's a lot of fun for the kids, and sometimes the parents come. Everybody's learning about gardening, and so it's just a very, very fun project for us.
Well, Sue Ann, let's talk about the Master Gardeners. Who are the Master Gardeners of Winona?
Well, anyone can become a Master Gardener. We have to take a course through the University of Minnesota. As a matter of fact, this is my textbook, and the course is called Horticulture for the Home and Garden. And after you take this course through the University of Minnesota, then you have to put in 50 volunteer hours in the community doing garden-related projects. And after that, you're awarded your Master Gardener certificate. We are bound to educate people with the resources from the University of Minnesota that have been tested, and most of them, I would say, would be tried and true. So we try to spread that word, and we give everyone who's interested the website so that they can ask questions via that website. We answer questions that come into the extension office here in Winona, and sometimes we make on-site visits as well.
Are you saying that if someone needs a little advice with their garden, they can call the Master Gardeners?
Yes.
Or through the county extension office?
Through the extension
and
office,
ask them
right.
to come over to give them a hand.
Right, and basically we're not really there to do any work as such, but we're there to give them advice.
That's wonderful. Well, and that would be very important because people would need to know what grows healthy in this climate.
Absolutely.
That would be very important.
Absolutely.
What other kinds of things could you help them with besides the planting?
Oh, landscaping ideas. If there are any bug problems, disease problems that they're having with trees. There are a number of the Master Gardeners are very, very interested in shrubs, trees and shrubs. So we have a list at the extension office of the Master Gardeners and what they're particularly interested in. So someone who's really read up on, let's say, trees and shrubs can probably give them the best advice.
Sue Ann, how many Master Gardeners are there in Winona?
Somewhere between 30 and 35.
It's quite an extensive course that they have to go through to become a Master Gardener.
Yes, I think they have to really have a serious interest in gardening and be willing to put in the volunteer hours that it takes. An example of some of the volunteer things that we do, our community service projects that we do beside this, is that we maintain the Wyndham Park Gardens, and that's a big job. That's a very big job. The garden that's around the gazebo and then the other two raised gardens down there take a lot of work, and we're working on those from April through October.
The Wyndham Park Gardens, which stand in the very center of Winona, could be considered the crowning achievement of the Master Gardeners, since it is the largest garden they maintain as well as the most visible. After the first year, Master Gardeners are required to contribute 25 hours of gardening service to their community. Senator Sharon Ropes, who is one of Winona's Master Gardeners, explains the gardens of Wyndham Park.
Well, we came up with this idea a couple years ago. We talked to the City of Winona. So this is a collaborative project between the City of Winona and the Winona County Master Gardeners. And we wanted to plant gardens that would enhance the centerpiece here behind us, which is Princess Winona. And the gazebo was already there and had a minimal planting, so we divided into teams. The team that planted the garden around the gazebo named it the Wedding Garden, and they planted it full of plants that are associated with wedding lore and love, legends, and things like that. And that was designed by Vicki English and Sharissa Templeton.
The gazebo in Wyndham Park is truly an enchanting place for a wedding. The brick path begins on the west side of the park on Harriet Street and leads up to the gazebo through a beautiful array of flowers, all with a history associated with weddings. Sharon tells us about the significance of some of these flowers.
We're here at the Wedding Garden now, which surrounds the gazebo. Around the gazebo are probably the flower most associated with love, and that's the roses. We also have little daisies for he loves me not. And once you have a bride and groom together, soon there are children to follow, so we have baby's breath in the garden too.
Forget-me-nots lead the way up the path of love, sprinkled with annuals of snapdragons and petunias for color. Johnson's blue geraniums adds its purple color to the lavender plants that stand for love. Azaleas with romantic names like Northern Lights are set next to daylilies called Happy Returns. Yarrow, which is known to give a married couple 7 years of good luck, stands near the purple sage, which adds wiseness to a marriage. As we all know, no marriage is perfect, just like this garden. Sharon tells us a story of the plant that makes this garden less than perfectly sweet.
So it's called monkshood, and we put that in the garden just so the garden wouldn't be too sweet. It does come with an interesting history from medieval England. It was known for a cure for unhappy marriages, and the trick is that monkshood is extremely poisonous. And it's said that wives would chop up the leaves and put them in a summer salad for their husbands, and that would be the end to their unhappy marriage. So we just planted that in our garden here for a little bit of fun. Okay, then to the south we have an arcing bed here that's planted in the late Victorian style, and we call that the Victorian Garden. That was designed by Cindy Welke and Carolyn Dingfelder, and the late Victorian style demonstrates sweeping beds and flowing color patterns, and some kind of unusual Victorian subjects there, but plants the Victorians loved.
The Victorian Garden is the garden in front of Princess Winona on the south side of the park. The unusual Victorian subjects that Sharon refers to include the Harry Lauder walking stick. It is this twisted tree which grows in this form partly because it is so very slow growing. It is actually a contorted mulberry tree. The Victorians loved to plant it in their gardens because they loved the fantastic and bizarre. On the other hand, they love the sentimental and the sweet, which is indicated by the tree at the opposite end of the garden. This is a weeping tree, called the Siberian peach tree or pendula. Two of the unusual plants in this garden are the long-stem blue veronica and the Vetch's blue globe thistle. Two wonderful reasons to take a walk in Wyndham Park.
And to the north side is the Minnesota Garden, and I designed that, and that's featuring perennials that are tried and true classics for Minnesota gardeners, and they're all labeled, and we are working on a key so that as the public comes through here, they can look to these gardens and try to get some ideas for their own backyard and say, oh, what is that pink flower blooming there? They'll go over and know it's hardy for Minnesota, because one of the things we really focus on is we selected plants that are disease resistant and has as few insect pests as possible, that'll tough through our Minnesota winters and not flop when the drought hits in the summer.
The Minnesota Garden is found behind Princess Winona on the north side of Wyndham Park. Sharon describes the garden to us.
Here in the Minnesota Garden, we planted a variety of tried and true perennials for northern gardens, and we also have a few summer annuals to give us a little bit of bright color along the borders. But in amongst the perennials, we have planted some herbs too that you might want to try in your garden. This is sage, and you can see it's just starting to flower here, so it's a wonderful ornamental. Besides being a perennial that comes back year after year, has few insects and disease problems, it has a wonderful upright lavender spike that'll bring some ornamental interest to your garden. And it coordinates well with the other blues and lavenders that we've planted here.
The Minnesota Garden has many beautiful common as well as different flowers in it. It's exciting to know that these are Minnesota's hardiest. We see the familiar black-eyed Susan and purple cone flowers mixed in with beautiful white daylilies. We see a wispy-looking flower that sways in the breeze and points to the sky. It has the unusual name of snake root, and because it sounds like something evil, the name is being changed to fairy candles, much more appropriate. We see an unusual daylily called prairie blue eyes. Through the purple Siberian iris, we see an unusual peony. It carries a single white blossom that will not fall like its heavier sister peony that falls to the ground because of its weight.
So it's a good teaching garden, all three of these.
These beautiful gardens are maintained throughout the year by the Master Gardeners so that we can enjoy the beauty of them. One of the jobs they do in the spring and fall is split the perennials. We join Sue Ann in the spring to learn how this is done.
And I'd like to show you a little bit of what I'm going to do here today to this beautiful Siberian iris called Caesar's brother. It's a very, very hardy iris, but as you can see, the center is pretty much hollow, and that's a good indication that it needs to be divided. So today we're going to dig this up and make many other plants out of this beautiful iris. So the first thing we need to do is to dig all the way around to loosen the dirt around this entire clump. If you haven't gotten a chance to get to your iris prior to it getting this big, yeah, you may not have the strength to actually lift this completely out of the hole. So what I would suggest is that you take your shovel and you go right to the center where it's dead, and you just cut the best you can. You might have to use 2 feet. There we go. That worked pretty good to cut through those roots. It gets very, very tight. At this point, break some of these apart gently if we wanted to make more plantings. But down here at the Minnesota Garden, I think we can use a couple of larger plantings of these. So that's our lesson for today on separating and dividing Siberian iris.
What aspect of gardening do you like the most?
I think I like the therapy of it. It's very soothing. I can be in my garden all day and just really feel relaxed and feel like I've really accomplished something.
All right, Sue Ann, can you tell me maybe some other places that the Master Gardeners take care of gardens? Are there any churches?
Well, there are actually a couple of our Master Gardeners are coordinators for the gardens that are at the Cathedral of the Sacred Heart.
Each of the Master Gardeners find their own niche for giving back and beautifying our city. Here they have help by planting annuals and perennials, which enhance the look of the cathedral's new entrance. They also work with the residents of the local nursing homes in planting and tending the flower gardens around their buildings. One of their big jobs was the initial planting of the area near and around the homes of Jimmy Carter Place, which is the Habitat for Humanity street project. They also help beautify the area surrounding Redeemer Lutheran Church. But at the back of this building, behind the children's garden, they plant thousands and thousands of vegetable plants, which they harvest in the fall and give away to the food shelf and needy people in our community. Do you ever have any classes that you present to the public?
Yes, we do. Usually it's on demand. If we have a large demand for a certain subject area. For instance, this year there's a lot of talk about the ash borer disease of the trees, the ash trees, and so we had a lot of questions about that, and we will be doing some educational nights at the library. Mm-hmm. And we meet and we talk about a lot of different subjects, but concentrate on 2 or 3 that are of interest for this particular season.
Well, Sue Ann, I think I'm going to mull around a little bit and speak with some of the kids out here.
Oh, please
and
do.
See what's going on.
Oh, you'll find out lots of good things.
Oh, good. I'm excited about that.
Okay. Thanks, Joyce.
Oh, you're welcome. Tell me about your garden.
Okay, this is snapdragons. I grew a couple of peppers and a lot of tomatoes. These over there are green zebra tomatoes. They grow green with white stripes.
Mm-hmm. Wow, you have really got a lot of stuff in your garden. It looks like mostly vegetables, is it?
Yes.
Okay, and what do you like about gardening?
It's very fun because I like gardening. We have one at our house too.
Oh, okay. And you help your mom garden?
Yes.
It looks like a very professional garden. You've got everything kind of lined up and organized very well.
The other thing I like is watering it to keep them alive.
Okay, and then what about, what's your favorite thing about gardening?
Favorite thing is doing all the fun stuff and planting.
Okay, thank you so much, Maya. I like your garden.
Thank you.
Hi, what is your name?
Rebecca.
Oh, hi, Rebecca. Tell me about your garden.
We plant flowers in it to make it look pretty.
It does look pretty. What are you doing tonight?
Well, tonight we're pretty much just planting flowers, and then we're going to stamp t-shirts.
Oh, fun. Can you tell me exactly what kind of things you have planted here?
Well, that's a red cabbage. That's green cabbage. This is a green zebra tomato plant. And this is some parsley. That's pretty much all I know.
Oh, you know a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So what else do you learn in this gardening class?
We learn about vegetables and other plants.
And tell me how you feel about doing all this.
It's really fun.
Yeah, it looks like you're having fun. Good. Well, you enjoy yourself. Thank you for talking with us.
You're welcome.
Well, tell me what gardening is all about here.
Really, it's just kind of to have fun and learn how to plant. So when you're older, you can make stuff that you want to eat and like that.
Good idea. Tell me about your garden right here.
Well, like here I have some snapdragons. Then here's like a salsa kind of plant.
Is this your whole plot here, CJ?
Yep.
Now tell me what you're going to do after tonight. What kinds of things will you do to tend your garden?
Well, I'll be looking over it and pulling out weeds and watering my garden.
Okay, and then when do you get to reap the benefits of your garden?
You get to take them out whenever you think they're ready or pretty close to the end of the class.
Okay. How do you like this gardening project?
It's pretty fun.
Well, thank you, CJ. Nice to meet you. Good luck. Hi, Jessie.
Hi.
Now, I understand you've been gardening in this program for a couple
About 5
years.
years. 5 years.
5 years. Wow. Tell me what you like about it.
I like pretty much everything about gardening. I don't eat the things, I just like giving them to everybody who likes them.
Oh, that's nice. And your garden is beautiful. Let's describe the things that you have planted in here for us.
Well, I have a few peppers, I have snapdragons, tomatoes, broccoli, and cabbage. I've got some marigolds right there.
Do you get to choose what you put in the garden?
Yes, we do. We can choose pretty much everything that they have.
Now, do you have to prepare the soil, or what do you do exactly for the gardening?
Well, the first day we don't plant anything. We put in fertilizer and till up the soil. And today someone tilled up the soil for us, and so we're planting and watering, and there are a lot of new people, and so I'm supposed to help them with a few other people.
Well, that's nice. It sounds like you have learned an awful lot about gardening.
Mhm.
What do you like the most about it?
Pretty much everything. I can't choose a favorite.
Okay, you're going to do this again next year?
Yep, I'm gonna do it as much as I can.
How many times do you come back to tend this garden?
We do it once every Monday.
Okay, does that go all summer long?
Yeah, until sometime in August.
Okay, and then in August, will your plants be ready?
Yeah, actually they're usually ready before August, sometime in the middle of when we're in gardening.
Okay, well, Jessie, thank you for talking with us.
Okay. Bye.
Hi, Tyler.
Hi.
Now, I heard that you're a long-time gardener, is that right?
Yep.
How long have you been doing this?
I'm pretty sure 4 years.
Oh, tell me about your garden.
Well, I hope to grow lots of vegetables and flowers because my mom likes to pick them off at like the end of it, and it's very fun.
And what do you do with the vegetables?
We eat them. We give them to our grandpa and grandma and friends.
Oh, how fun. Do you like to cook with them?
I don't really know, actually.
Because you don't cook, or do you?
I don't. My sister does.
Okay, tell me about the garden program. Tell me exactly what you have to do to be in this garden program.
Well, you plant plants, you play games sometimes, and you obey the rules, and that's pretty. Oh yeah, and we have an art project.
Oh, that sounds like fun. And what's your favorite thing about being in this garden program?
I like to plant the plants, and at the end, we usually have this sponge fight, and we get the sponges wet, and we throw them at each other.
Oh, I bet you do that on a hot day, right?
Right.
Well, I think you're going to be a wonderful gardener someday, and it looks like you've got a very good start.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Tyler.
Thanks a lot. You too.
This is Erin Reddick, and Erin, I've seen you out here working very hard with the kids.
Yes.
And you're part of this program. In fact, you're the other half of the Master Gardeners. You come in from the Women's Resource Center, is that correct?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I've been working with this project for the last 7 years. The project is 12 years old, but I've been coordinating it for the last 7. So, and I started out as the Children's Program Coordinator at the Women's Resource Center, and since I've moved to other positions, but I really like the garden, so I keep that as part of my project.
Oh, I don't blame you. You get to work with all these kids.
Yeah.
Well, tell me what it's like for them to come out here and learn how to garden.
The kids have always really, really enjoyed this project. There's something really neat for the kids about being able to plant their own gardens and take care of their own individual plot and to see what comes from that. And the whole point behind this project is going off of the hands are not for hitting idea, which, you know, is trying to show kids that they can do positive things with their hands, with their bodies, with their words and their actions, and then they have something really tangible and good to show from all of their efforts at the end of the summer, you know, to other kids and say, look what I did, and guess what I'm doing in garden, and just to really show that they can take responsibility for a life and nurture it and grow it. So.
Oh, Erin, that was so nicely put. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. We're glad to have you out here and bring notice to the garden that we have. So
my pleasure.
thank you very much.
The Master Gardeners have created a positive force in the lives of these children. They have also created a positive force in our community by teaching others and by creating beautiful gardens for all of us to enjoy. I'd like to extend a special thank you to the Master Gardeners of the Heartland area, and thank you for joining me today. This has been Joyce Woodworth. Please join me again next week. Till then, enjoy the spirit of the Heartland.